Hey guys, so I'd previously done a guide showing how to practice your quick charge, and then I got a bunch of questions about like how to actually do the quick charge. So I thought I'd make a quick little guide going over that. So first thing is you need some things in your arsenal. So you need a DPS Volt build with at least about 200% power strength. Here I have a little bit more than that. Sprint boost will help. The more power strength you have, the stronger your speed boost will be, and that will make some things a little bit more convenient, but you need at least 200%. You should also have Amalgam Serration, which will give you a sprint boost that will increase your Arcwing movement speed. And you should ideally be running Itzel because it has the highest flight speed. And you should have Hyperion Thrusters at a high rank, ideally rank 10, but if it's 1 or 2 from the top, that probably should work okay as well. So, assuming you have all that, then you should be ready to go. So if I'm using the Rubico, the first thing I like to do is scope in as soon as I can. And then from here, you want to make sure that you're sprinting, so not just moving around at the slow default speed, but you want to make sure that you're actually sprinting. And then, as soon as you can, as soon as you load in and the gate opens, you want to bullet jump and then double jump. So bullet jump, double jump, like that. Okay. And as soon as you get past about this spot here, where the start of these little, I don't know, barricade things, where the start of those is just to your left and to your right. As soon as you get past about that point, you should be able to cast abilities. So as soon as you cross that point, you should be able to cast your speed. But at any rate, as soon as the gate opens, you bullet jump, double jump, and as soon as you can, and as soon as you cross this, you cast your speed. Okay? So you go bullet jump, double jump, and then when you're at about the peak of that double jump, that's about when you want to get into your Arcwing. So it goes a bit like that. So it's quite a few things to get right and the right sort of timing. It is important that you jump far enough from the gate before getting into Arcwing. Like I used to do this thing, looks kind of that, where basically I would just get into Arcwing absolutely as soon as I possibly could. And then that caused all kinds of problems where, like, sometimes the Voms just wouldn't spawn in over at East Camp that I use. So you want to make sure that you are jumping far enough out. If you're getting there fast enough, but the Voms just aren't spawning, then that's probably where you're going wrong. But yeah, at any rate, bullet jump, double jump, cast speed, get into Arcwing, and then as soon as you can, you want to blink forward. Oh, and you also need to be going not at this slow sort of speed in Arcwing, but you need to be like sprinting in Arcwing, so like that, right? And so you want to get into the go fast mode in Arcwing as soon as you can also. Alright, so make sure you're sprinting, bullet jump, double jump, I'm out of energy. Bullet jump, double jump, cast speed, get into Arcwing, sprint, dashboard, and then you want to stop for East Camp. You want to stop just to where you're on top of the tree. So it doesn't have to be necessarily directly over the absolute deadpan middle of it. And it's not so important exactly what height you're at. You could be like here or here. Kind of doesn't matter super much. You can be a bit to the left or to the right. I mean, I've seen some people even place their QC Loc-Pin like over here. It's fairly forgiving of most things, but you don't want to be too far forward. You don't want to stop like way up here or anything, like up here. And you don't necessarily want to stop like way back here. But pretty much as long as you're sort of over like the leaves or needles of this tree, as long as if you were to look down, your crosshairs are pointed at some part of the green of the tree, and as long as you're not like way far up high, it should probably work pretty consistently. And once you get here, you just want to stay parked here until you see the Voms spawn in. And for that, it becomes important that your effects intensity is turned up high. If you have that turned down low, because in most of Warframe, things are just a lot less obnoxious if you turn this down. But I personally recommend turning it up to like 200. Some people have it at around 100. 200 is kind of optimal, I think. So what that'll do is that'll make it so that when the Voms spawn in, you see like this big, bright flash of light, and it is pretty obvious when they spawn in. And personally, I've stopped scoping in when I'm approaching like my Loc-Pin here. I have in the past like ADS'd with secondary, but if you're scoped too far in, then, and I have ambush optics on right now, but if I didn't have that on, it could possibly be scoped in to where I can't necessarily see beyond like these trees, and sometimes they'll spawn in like way over here. Every now and then they might spawn in over here. But I don't really need to be zoomed in, just as long as my effects intensity is turned up high, and as long as I don't overly have tunnel vision expecting it to be on top of the lure, because it could equally well be anywhere out over kind of a wide range. So yeah, so that's about it. So again, make sure that you're sprinting. Bullet jump, double jump, cast 2, get into Arcwing, blink, stop on top of the tree. That should probably be good enough there, huh? And wait for the Voms to spawn in. If you get here just a little bit too late, if you don't get here within the first 6 seconds, then you'll have to wait another 6 seconds or so for the next window to open up where the Voms can possibly spawn in. Also, at East Camp, so if you're finding that the Voms are spawning too far away from you, like if you're finding they're spawning like way back here or back behind the rock or something like that, then probably what you're doing is you're probably stopping too far forward, or you might even be like stopping and, oh, they're not spawning in, I'm supposed to inch then, right? And so in inching forward, you end up way in front of the tree. And so yeah, because things tend to spawn around about 150 meters away from you. So if you move farther forward, they're not, 150 feet. 150 meters from you isn't going to be right around the lure. It's going to be quite a ways behind the lure potentially. Or if they're, if they spawn in too far in front of the lure, then that means that you probably stopped like too far in front of the tree. Or maybe you didn't quite get to the tree quite in time, so you were on your way and you were maybe about here at the 6-second mark when the Voms spawn in. But so yeah, it's, how far forward you are kind of determines how far forward the Voms spawn in, how far back you are determines how far back the Voms spawn in. Then the next thing to go over is the +2. So the +2 Voms should be spawned in actually by the Void Strike users, who will be client. And so what they should do is they should void dash forward until they're about even with this tree. So like they're going forward towards the log here, but then they should stop when they're about even with this tree. They shouldn't really go much farther forward than the tree. Until they see the Voms have spawned in. And so if they do that correctly, then they should spawn in some Voms, hopefully somewhere around here, although they can spawn in way back in the woods, or here, or maybe on the other side of the hill here, or maybe not at all. So it's worth looking around a little bit. If they should waypoint the approximate area where the Voms are, so you should be able to just go to wherever their waypoint is and press 3, and if they've waypointed it well, that should pull the lures, or the Voms in toward you. Okay, so a couple more things to note. First of all, if the Voms spawn in a ways away from the lure, then you can just get kind of close and use Itzel 3 to draw them even closer. Also, sniper rifles have punch through, so if you hit 2 of them at once, like I just did there, then it'll only suck up one of them, and then the other one will fly off, and you'll have to kill it manually, and like dash through it, like that. Also, to spawn in the +1 Vom at the Teralyst, you have to deal damage between right about when he starts singing. Between about now. So you have to like make gray zeros, which you can do in either of those three ways, and about now. So it's when he's doing that little song, as he's spawning in, you have to make gray zeros on him, either by shooting with really any gun, or you can use your gun blade, or you can Void Blast to spawn in Wisps. Any of those things, as long as you are close enough to the Eidolon during that window of time, that will ensure that the +1 bomb will spawn in. You'll also have to make sure that you don't break the limb until the bomb has spawned in. So if you just break the limb as soon as it's vulnerable, but before the bomb has spawned in, that won't work. You won't get your +1. So wait for the bomb to spawn in, then break the limb. So to recap, make sure I'm sprinting, scope in, bullet jump, double jump, cast speed, get into Arcwing, blink, stop over the tree, suck in the bomb, shoot them one at a time, come over here, land, cast my 2, wait for the teleport, press 3, go over to the Eidolon, deal damage to it, strip armor, cast abilities, build combo, wait for the +1 to spawn in. Where's blue? Is way over there. That's interesting. And there you go. And it's blue. So what that verifies is that that my quick charge is fast enough that I can get 2 at QC. I can go for the 2 here, and if the VS squad has spawned it in, I should get them. And that still leaves me time also to spawn the +1 of the Teralyst. So if you can do that reliably in practice, then you should be really nice and solid for 6x3s. So good luck and have fun, guys.